Good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for being here tonight for the virtual high school event. Thank you to St. Richard's, Orchard, and Sycamore for inviting us to be here tonight. I'm Colleen Cannon. I'm the Director of Admissions at Brebeuf Jesuit, and I would like to introduce you to three of our students here at Brebeuf who are so excited for you to meet and hear from: Abby, Noah, and Eli, who you'll get to hear from in a little while. I'm going to share my screen to start things off. And can you give me, you see that? Okay, wonderful. So this session, you'll have an opportunity to hear from our student panelists, and they are juniors and seniors at Burba, to hear more about their experiences during their time here. And then at 8 o'clock, we have a virtual open house session, and that will be a little more informal, an opportunity to ask questions, a Q&A session. And then we have invited another student panel to participate, and they are all freshmen, and they are all from your school communities as well, so that we hope that you stop by, ask some questions, connect with them. It'll be great to meet you virtually. Before we dive in and talk further, I wanted to give you an update about campus visits for your families. So for all the 8th graders who are watching right now, I hope you're waving your hands wildly. The class of 2025, we're excited for you to be on campus. We know that this year is more challenging as you're looking at schools. Abby and Eli are looking for schools themselves as seniors at Brebeuf, and so they know that things are a little different. But we are committed to making sure that you get the experiences, the connections, and the information that you need as you're weighing your options this year. So I hope that you check your calendars and sign up for one of our Sunday Brave Day visits. That will be an opportunity for you to visit campus and attend classes with Brebeuf teachers, and you'll have some admissions ambassadors who will be there to guide you through your day. It's going to be a really fun day. We're offering those on October 11th, November 1st, and November 15th. For all other middle school families, we do have other events for you as well. We're offering meet and greet sessions. These are personalized sessions and tours on campus with me, so I hope you sign up for those. We have been offering virtual information sessions, and we plan to offer more, so you can sign up and learn more. Those are designed to highlight certain themes about Brebeuf, and so those have been an alternate opportunity since we can't host large events on campus right now. And then Brebeuf Day, which is in the spring, it will be in March, is a great opportunity to come to campus and participate in some interactive events. We're hopeful that we can have a really fun experience at Brebeuf Day as well. That's often kind of what we think of as like the 7th grade kickoff to considering high schools. And so we hope that you join us on campus for some of those experiences. You can go to brebeuf.org/visit to learn more. I want to first start, as you're kind of deciding which school will be the best fit for you, to share a little bit more about why I chose Brebeuf Jesuit. I'm a teacher. I'm an English teacher, and I taught at other schools before I taught English at Brebeuf. And ultimately, I chose Brebeuf because I was so impressed by the strong academics, the connection to faith, and service to others. And I didn't just choose Brebeuf for me, I chose it for my family. I wanted my kids to be part of this school experience. And I am most excited that my oldest daughter, Chloe, will be a member of the class of 2025. So I'm excited to think about who her friends might be and who her classmates will be, teammates along the way. And so I'm excited for her to experience this transformational journey that I've seen my students experience at Brebeuf. If you asked me 6 months ago what I valued about Brebeuf versus what I value about Brebeuf today, it might have changed, just like you might value something different today about your school than you did last winter. What I value about Brebeuf now is Brebeuf's commitment to cura personalis, or the care of the whole person. And at Brebeuf, when we closed our campus because of COVID, we tried to share the love with our students in all the ways that we could. We delivered diplomas to doorsteps. We lit up the night with a virtual prayer service and engaged the international Brebeuf Jesuit community to pray for our seniors. We surprised our teachers with signs in their yards and notes in their mailboxes, simply to say, in the only way that we could, thank you for all you do for us. And we sent care packages to each other. This care of the whole person is what I love the most about Brebeuf, and I think you'll hear about from our students how they are cared for through this experience themselves. So when you are considering schools, what should you consider when you're working on making a decision about which school is the right fit for you? Well, I would ask you first to consider what each school values. At Brebeuf, we are a Jesuit school. That's a different kind of Catholic school. And at the core of our values is that we believe in the education of the whole person, cultivating a caring and diverse community, and AMDG, seeing God in all things. And I think when you hear our students talk about their experiences, you'll hear those influences from their time here. I think it's interesting for you to consider who you will become after you spend 4 years at a school. We share that at graduation, our graduates will reveal that they are open to growth, intellectually competent, religious, loving, and committed to doing justice. And again, when you listen to our students today, I challenge you to listen for these themes and the examples that they share. Most definitely, it's important to consider the academic environment ahead for you and the student life that awaits you. Brebeuf is known for strong academics. We have challenging courses here at Brebeuf. There's no denying it. But what I most admire about this experience and appreciate is that through the way that we challenge our students, there are so many ways that we support them. The overall school size itself and small class sizes allow for students to get the attention that they need. They work with both an academic and college counselor for all 4 years of their time. And the schedule itself allows for students to find time in their day to work one-on-one with teachers. Those are a true difference for our Brebeuf students. Considering the opportunities ahead for you to be involved in the school is very important. To play an important role in the teams that you love, or clubs and co-curriculars and retreat programs. We offer both domestic and international trips at Brebeuf and plenty of opportunities to serve others. I think one big question is, what makes a Brebeuf education so meaningful? And you'll hear our students talk more about this. And truly, I would encourage you to consider the coursework, the actual student work ahead for you at each of these schools. I want to share one example that highlights what makes a Brebeuf education so meaningful. And it really involves kind of critical thinking and the depth of thinking in some of our courses. This example I'm sharing for you today really involves an example from sophomore year in English, social studies, and religion classes. These teachers found similar times in their coursework to study issues of poverty in the world and in our own neighborhoods. That study then focused on inviting students to volunteer. And students went to the Dayspring Homeless Shelter to prepare meals and serve and get to know people who are living in the shelter. And that really helped them to talk and think further about the barriers ahead for people living in poverty and the challenges and the struggles. This then inspired others to join the conversation by organizing an event at Brebeuf that we call Diversity Dialogues. These are rich conversations that involve students, faculty, and community members to really think in more depth about poverty. And that all connected back to the work that students did in their classes, the thinking, the researching, and ultimately the writing. They wrote argumentative research papers proposing a policy change to help make a difference. And that, I think, is indicative of this experience for students. It's a mosaic of experiences from all different classes, from service to also in clubs and athletics, that they're all kind of focused on how can we use this knowledge to spread good in the world. That's a Brebeuf difference. So why should you choose Brebeuf Jesuit? Well, if you feel like this aligns with your own personal values and your own life's purpose, we would love for you to join us in this mission. Considering the people in these school communities is also hugely important. And I think you're going to hear a little bit more about our teachers at Brebeuf, what makes them so special, and from our students themselves, who are wonderful. So again, I would like to introduce you to our students here tonight, Abby, Noah, and Eli, and they're going to share a little bit more about their own experiences at Brebeuf. If you three could start by just introducing yourselves and also share a little bit about what you are involved in at Brebeuf, athletics, clubs, co-curriculars. How do you spend your time?
So my name is Abby. I'm a senior here at Brebeuf. I'm involved in the Brebeuf Theater program, so that's the fall play and the spring musical. And I'm also in French Club, Social Justice Club, GSA, and a lot of other clubs here at Brebeuf.
I'm Noah. I'm a junior at Burba, and I am involved in baseball, also the theater program, so the fall play and the spring musical, also pre-med club. And I forgot to mention this last session, but I am part of student council as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Eli Franklin. I'm a senior at Brebeuf. I'm involved in cross country and track, all sorts of things related to sustainability, such as conservation club. I am on executive council, which is part of student council, and I play the cello in the orchestra.
I was muted. So thank you. So Noah and Eli, I know Spirit Week is coming up next week. Can you share any dress up days? Have those been announced yet? What's one?
So Noah might not know as much about it just because the student council, it's a little confusing right now to get everything set up. But executive council has been working on homecoming week next week. So next week, one of the themes is class color, and the other theme is superhero day.
Superhero Day. Okay, awesome. You heard it here. Wonderful. Well, I'm hoping that you can share with families who are watching tonight a little bit more about what you appreciate about your academic experience at Brebeuf, and maybe specifically thinking about a classroom experience that you really value and appreciate from your time here.
So I can start. One of the things that I appreciate the most in the classroom is the rigorous courses that we're able to take here at Brebeuf. And courses can go at every level so that it fits to each individual student. You're able, once you're admitted into Brebeuf, you're able to take tests to level out of certain courses in math, in history, in a world language, and so on and so forth. And that was one of the main things I was looking for in high school when choosing my high school. And Brebeuf really stood out because of their academic courses and everything that they offer here at Brebeuf.
Yeah, going off what Abby said, the rigor of the courses, as well as I think that I value probably most is the teachers at Brebeuf. So they'll be willing to help you in any situation. They want you to succeed at Brebeuf and in go and so on, like after you leave. So they want you to succeed. So they want to schedule a time with you if you're struggling in a class, just to meet, and you can work with them one-on-one. They'll find time for that, and just to help you get better at whatever you need to get better at.
A couple of things that I love about academics at Brebeuf are that there's so many different opportunities of different things to do at Brebeuf. For example, I'm in the AP Capstone program, which is a 2-year research course. The second year is AP Research, and I'm in that class right now. And within the class, we develop a research question and a research project based off of a topic that we're interested in. And we learn how to research. And I think that'll be extremely beneficial in college, as I plan on doing research in college. And currently we're in the process of figuring out our research topics.
I was just going to ask you, what are some topics that you're thinking about? Do you know yet?
Yeah, so I'm actually I'm looking into this thing called earthing or grounding. So basically, it's the idea of connecting yourself with the earth, and having an electrical connection with the earth. A lot of people don't think about it, but we've evolved to be in contact with the earth, but modern society and shoes has kind of removed that option. And there's actually a lot of scientific evidence showing that it's negative health effects, but there's nothing that talks about the mental health effects. So I'm going to be looking into, that's what I'm planning on looking into right now. We're currently looking at the viability of our projects and how we plan on doing them.
Great, thank you. I'm wondering if each of you could share something that you're learning right now in your classes that's really challenging you to think. So something, maybe the class that it is and what it is that you're learning that's really, inspiring you to think critically or challenging you in a specific way. It can be anything.
So one of the main things that is coming throughout our classes is the 21-day racial equity challenge that is happening through our religion, science, or religion history and English classes. So the goal of this challenge is to talk about different racial issues, racial topics in 2020 and bring more awareness to the issues that we have in our nation and show what we can do as students and in the future to help make sure that every individual has an equal opportunity. And I think that right now that's what our classes are focusing on, and it's really important too because those are some difficult issues to talk about, and the fact that we're talking about them at Brebeuf is a big deal to me and to everyone else.
Thank you.
Something more specific than what Abby said. So in math class, currently right now, we're learning about trigonomic functions. And the reason why it's so challenging is that there's just so much that goes into it. But just going to ask my math teacher about it has helped me understand it a little more so that I don't have as much trouble as maybe someone who doesn't go see the teachers or something like that. But no, it's very interesting, but there is a lot that goes into it, so that's why it makes it a little challenging.
I would say that a course that is challenging me right now is AP Literature. Within the course, we're looking at a variety of different texts. And not only is it is the coursework challenging, but it's challenging beyond just academically. It's challenging me to think about ideas and beliefs that I hadn't necessarily thought about before. For example, you read Plato's Allegory of the Cave and how that's kind of related to this idea of education and enlightenment and how those who are educated have a duty to serve their community.
Okay, you guys are all, 2 seniors and 1 junior, right? So you've been at Brebeuf for a little while. When you really kind of think back to your time, going into high school or at the beginning of high school compared to today, how do you see yourself, where do you see the most growth from this experience?
I think I grew the most, especially during my junior year. Like I said, I'm participating in the theater programs here at Brebeuf, but I only really started my junior year when I auditioned for the fall play, and I auditioned for the fall play to push me out of my comfort zone. Auditioning or speaking in public was a very scary thing for me, so I knew that if I did this, then I could say that I did it, and I know that I am able to do a lot more than I thought I could, and I was able to get in to the play as one of the characters, and I built a community with the fall play, all the other members of the cast too, And so that is one important point in my Brebeuf career that really stuck out to me because I was able to grow as an individual and push myself out of my comfort zone.
Abby, were you involved in the fall play last year?
Yes, I was involved in The Fault in Our Stars last year.
Can you tell the families who are watching now who you got to meet when you were participating in the play last year? No big deal.
Yeah, so Noah was in the fall play too. We were able to meet John Green after our one of our dress rehearsal performances. He was hiding in the audience and watched our entire play, which was important because The Fault in Our Stars had never been created into a play before our school. Mr. Strader, our theater director, and a few graduating classes, they worked during the summer to create the fall play. And John Green came after our rehearsal and talked to us and told us that we did a great job at capturing the essence of what he wanted in his book.
That's so incredible. Thank you so much. Noah, how have you seen yourself grow during your time at Brebeuf?
I've definitely seen my confidence and my openness to meeting other people and getting to know my teachers increase. So when I was a freshman at like probably more to the summer, when I started doing summer school, I really wasn't as confident as I am today, and it kind of affected a little bit just being more open to meet new people. But after a little while, into the start of my freshman year, I gained a little more confidence, getting to know my teachers and the peers within my class, and it just boosted my confidence and my openness to meeting new people.
Eli, how have you seen yourself grow during your time at Brebeuf?
I would say I definitely see myself as growing as a whole person as Brebeuf commits itself to. Academically, I started off in all regular classes, which most students do. And then I was able to challenge myself more and more. And as a senior, all the classes that I take are either honor or AP classes. And then outside of the Brebeuf community, I've been able to get more involved in the Indianapolis community as a whole. Sustainability is really important to me, and last week I had the opportunity to speak at the State House on an experimental legislative committee for carbon neutral legislation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that work. We have just a few minutes left in this session, and one question I get a lot from middle schoolers involves making friends. Since we don't have a middle school at Brebeuf and students come from 40 to 50 different sending schools, I don't know if you can remember back to what it was like to start at Brebeuf and what it was like, to make friends at Brebeuf. Was that easy? What was some advice that you had about what made it easier? Can you talk through that a little bit?
Yeah, so I came from St. Richard's, and it's a small middle school, and we had about 30 kids in our class. And there were only 2 or 3 of us who ended up going to Brebeuf. And so I was really nervous about making friends, especially going from a 30-student classroom to a 200-student classroom. I was scared that I was not going to find as close-knit friends as I was able to in middle school, and that was actually not the case at all. At Brebeuf, there is a place for everyone, even if you're worried about that. So I was able, especially during summer school and throughout the first semester of freshman year, everyone's kind of in the same place as you are, and I just had to put myself out there and make friends with everyone. And then throughout the years, you get to know people better, and you build strong relationships with a few people who then become your close friends.
Yeah, coming from Orchard, which has about 50 kids and half of them go to Brebeuf, you've got those people that you can talk to, you know who they are. But once you get into like the start of freshman year and getting to know all your classmates, you bond probably more with them than you ever would have with your other peers from your middle school. So that's a good thing. And then when if you do all the extracurriculars that I do, so like I have friends on the baseball team, I have multiple friends who are in the theater program and student council and pre-med club, etc. And it just, you find people that have similar interests with you and you just bond with those people.
Yeah, similar to Noah, I came from Orchard as well. And while I'm still friends with all of my classmates from middle school and elementary school that are at Brebeuf today, Brebeuf does a really great job of integrating the freshmen your first year, and just getting involved as much as you can makes that even more exciting and fun. A lot of my closest friends are from cross country. So just kind of the activities that you get involved in, you'll find other people that love doing things that you do, and you'll make lifelong friends.
Well, thank you so much, you guys, for being here. I know you're busy. We appreciate that you would give back to your middle school communities by sharing your experiences. We're proud of you always, and we are excited to see what the rest of your senior and junior years turn out to be and beyond. So to all the families who are joining us tonight, thank you so much for considering Brebeuf Jesuit. We hope this is the beginning of a conversation about what life awaits for you at Brebeuf, and we hope that you join us at the open house session to hear from some of our freshman students and ask some questions as well. So have a wonderful night. Thank you again. Bye.